Hello, fellow YouTubers. How are you doing? I'm doing good. A little bit of an update and a bit of a complaint that I have. First off, if you're interested, I've started up a new podcast called Rambling Weekly. Put out an episode last week. I'll put up one later today. For the game I'm working on, Sage's Calling, we're about finished up. What we're doing is kind of in steps. So we have pre-alpha 1, pre-alpha 2, and then the alpha. And then for pre-alpha 1 and 2, we're finishing aspects of it, and then going to in-house test also some really close people that we know, and then kind of test it again, and then have the alpha. So when we do release the alpha, it'll hopefully run appropriately and not be a huge mess. Confidence, but that, and also I just released chapter 10 of the story I'm working on, Sudraba. I'm working on chapter 11. I've actually gotten into a nice habit. At first, like, for a while, I'd kind of been, I'll write a little bit, and then large space at a time where I'm not doing writing because I'm a bit lethargic, and then in a short period of time, I write a whole bunch, and then type, edit, do like a soft edit from handwritten to typed, soft edit, editing things here and there, and then kind of doing that process again, starting a little bit more of the chapter, and then, but now I've kind of hit a point where I'm like, all right, let's go through this a little bit more, not deliberately, but a little bit more habitually, and be like, okay, all right, a couple. I wrote like 4 pages last night, about 6 pages so far into chapter 11. So, yay, progress. First off, I want to say thank you for watching, even though I've already gone 2 minutes in. But now something I wanted to talk about is that Xseed has announced it within the last week that they're going to be releasing an English version of Trails in the Sky the 3rd. Anybody who's watched for a long time and can remember, this is one of the earliest games that I had talked about. I love the Trails series. I first got introduced to it through YouTube thanks to one of those like top 100 RPG theme lists and stuff, and one of them had Silver Will, Golden Wings, I think is the name, like the translated name of it. Silver Will is just generally what they kind of, that's what it was called in FC, because there's a version of it in SC, but then there's a quote unquote much better version in SC, first chapter and then second chapter, and that's the one I heard, and I was like, wow, that's fantastic music. Heard a lot more of the music. I'm like, wow, this is super awesome music. Want to play the series. Then when I went to Japan, I was lucky enough to get my hands on it and play through them and all that kind of stuff. I've been wanting to do the 3rd, like a video review, thoughts and whatnot about it for the longest time. The problem is that at first when I played it, I was kind of like, I don't know about how I feel about this game. And then when but I still recorded stuff for it. But then when I played it again, I recorded more because the first one had died. My first laptop had died. And then I recorded more through the HD, the Kai. There was a Kai version that was for the PS3, because the series, that first trilogy was released on the computer, then it was released on the PSP with a little bit of a remaster, enhanced versions to it in certain ways, and also a bit of a tweak to one of the characters. But then they had the third, then they had the Kai versions, which were like the PS3 HD versions of it. And I was playing through that and had footage for it too, and then that footage it didn't get corrupted, but my laptop crapped out on me. So I've tried a couple times, because I do want to talk about that. And then my favorite games is a duology from the series so far, and it's Zeto and Aono Kiseki. I'm not the biggest fan of Sen or Trails of Cold Steel so far, but that aside, I seen this news and I was like, oh, cool. But then I seen some people comment, some were disappointed because there was no physical release, or going to be a physical release. And then there were some people who went as far as to complain, because that there was no physical release, that they will not be getting the game. This irks me to no end, because to me that is a big blaring sign that it says, I am materialistic, I am hedonistic, do what I only makes me feel good, which is buy these games. That's a really big neon sign, but that's how it sounds to me. If you're disappointed that there's no physical release, but you're still going to play it, that's different. If you are purposely not going to play it because there's not a physical release, to me that's what that sounds like. And I'm not saying you're an asshole. I'm just saying that it sounds incredibly materialistic because I'm not satiating. I'm not slaking that thirst to have the things to touch and feel. I will not play it. Like, if you like the game and the stories and the characters and the music, why not continue it? I mean, I can kind of understand it being a little bit harder doing the click-clack off the computer instead of holding a PSP or something like that, but in the same hand, really? Really? Oof, back popped. Getting old, people. But I don't know. Like I get kind of the same thing when it's not so much a materialistic thing because to me it's a different argument when you say I don't want to play this because it's on a handheld as opposed to a console. That's not the same thing because obviously you can still there's differences in immersion and all that sort of thing. But space, how you use things, that sort of context. Whereas this is because there's no physical thing, I'm not gonna get it, and it's just like that. To me, is just ridiculous. Especially if you like the series. If you're kind of ho hum to the series, and you're like, okay, but in the same hand, that reason being the reason why you not get it still sounds materialistic to me, because that okay, that's fine, that's collector stuff, but that, let's face it, being a collector is materialistic. Come at me, bruh, we can battle. But and that's the truth. It's a materialistic thing. I went through the same thing when I was in Japan. In Japan, I would just buy bulks of stuff because I was like, man, got to have this, want to have this, and all that sort of stuff. And it just, a lot of it just sat there, like, taking up space. And it's just, that's not, that got to a point where it was just more of a burden for me than anything. So, yeah. Like, I don't know. I just hearing that sort of thing just bugs me because it's kind of like you don't care. It sounds like to me the game is not as important as the physical tangibles that the game are associated with, says the man who's wearing a slime hat and a Kirby t-shirt. But I like Dragon Quest. I love slimes. I like Kirby. I love squishy pink things. Like Kirby. Said the Freudian slip. But I guess it's just looking at it in the context of liking a game. That's why I don't now, at least, especially. That's why I don't just buy a bunch of games to be like, yeah, I'm gonna play them, and even because if it's something I don't care for or have any interest in playing, I'm not gonna spend the money because that's a waste of money. Because if it just sits there and I don't get to it, then that was kind of weird. But yeah, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. So yeah. If you don't want to play a game just because there's no physical release, go elsewhere. Really, I mean, just it just bugs me more than anything because you don't care for the game. That's what that says to me. You are more interested in just having it than playing it, because you can still play it on Steam, or will be able to play it on Steam, or and that sort of, or from the other kind of thing. I don't know what the OGG. No, maybe it's OGG. I don't remember what the other one is. I know Steam. It's okay. I feel that same way too. But But yeah, that is my rant, and I am gonna get on videos and stuff. I'll have another Rambling Weekly up. I've got another games which fanned my passion. I have the games selected that I'm going to talk about. Lufia 2. I just haven't written it out. I write out like little notes and stuff, and I don't have any bulletin points for it at all. I just have Lufia 2. But that's if you're interested, go check out the story I'm writing, Sudraba. I'll link that, as well as if you're curious to see any sort of updates. We update on website for the game. We update that bi-weekly with the blog, and each of the different members we take turns on it, but we also talk about different things. So for example, with my blog updates, I am giving not like heavy details, but a little bit of details here and there just about the setting itself. One was about religion, another one was about the economics of it, and then the other one, what was the other one? I've forgotten. Another one will be about technology. I know that. And I'm missing the other one. What is the other one? Politics. No. Yeah, religion, politics, economics, and then technology. And maybe you find that boring, but I kind of like talking about that sort of thing. So that is it. I need to take care of the feline because he is demanding. Yes, I'll get to you. But that is it. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny. It's pretty sunny and nice out right now, which is why the cat wants out, which is why I should probably get out. But so yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I'll catch you later.